Well, hi everybody. It is Saturday, which means it's weigh-in day. So I have a weigh-in update for you, and also another update that I am going to share with you about a number that changed everything this week. Well, welcome back to my channel, everybody. I'm Sue from sueslimsdown. Nice to have you back here again. First of all, let's go over my weigh-in update here. So last week, I had a loss. I forget of how many pounds. Let me look at this. Last week I had a loss of 1.2 pounds. And I was really hoping for at least that this week. So I talked to you a little earlier in the week about some things that I had to change. I was trying out the paleo diet, which was going pretty well for me. Now, I only did paleo like, I think, 3 days this week. Then I had a conversation with my doctor, and everything changed. So this weight result is in part because I went paleo, which is cutting out dairy and grains. And it was more protein heavy. It was, pretty much plant-based, but with protein added, like animal protein. So here's the result of my weigh-in this week. Okay, well, I've been making progress on the weight front anyway. This is where I'm at right now, down 2.6 for the week. For the month of July, I'm down 7.5 pounds. For the year, I'm down 5 pounds. I've lost a total now of 47.7. Now, I keep reminding you, I had lost a lot more than that. I need 44.6 more pounds to get to my lowest weight. So, I'm making progress. And, forward progress is really what I'm looking for here. So, all was good. I was going to stay on paleo, and I thought I was, I wasn't looking at it as something I was going to do long term, just something to kind of kickstart me into weight loss and to just help my general overall health a little bit. And then I had a conversation with my doctor. So everything changed about midweek for me. I was in the hospital earlier this week with an AFib event, which, we assumed at the time was heart related. And I mean, AFib is heart related, but there's a lot of things that can contribute to cardiovascular health. So I have been in, I've had low kidney function for a long time. And they've been keeping close numbers on my kidney, close look on my kidney numbers. And so this is how my kidney numbers have been going. In April of 23, when I had a test, my GFR, that's the number they look at, it's a filtration rate on how well my kidneys are working. My filtration rate was at 60. Then this past December, it was all the way down to 44. January, it bounced back up to 48. April, it was still at 48. And the one I just had was at 37.7. So I am now told I have chronic kidney disease, which I suspected with these numbers anyway. So let me just show you this chart. So Right now, I'm in stage 3B. Now, it sounds bad. You know, stage 4 is worse. In stage 5, I would have to do dialysis, which I don't intend on ever doing. Um, so that's the bad news. The good news is that there is a specific diet I can follow that can slow down and sometimes reverse kidney disease. So, starting yesterday, I started following a plant-based diet, whole food plant-based. Now, before you get all in a tizzy about, oh my gosh, you're not going to get enough protein. Yeah, I am. Because I am, because I have kidney disease, I have to severely limit my protein intake anyway. And so the proteins I'm getting now are from plants instead of animal protein. That's not to say that I'm never going to eat another piece of meat again. Red meat, no, I'm not ever going to have red meat again. But, yeah, I could probably eat lean fish and turkey and poultry in very, very small amounts. But I have to have my daily protein intake between 31 and 52 grams a day, and that's it. And I have been successful the last 2 days in getting that amount just through plants. So I'm eating a lot of chickpeas and black beans, brown rice. I can have quinoa. I've got some pasta that's made out of quinoa, and there's something else. One of the grains I'm allowed to have. I'm getting most of my calories from the grains and from fruits and vegetables, and that's basically what I'm eating. I'm allowed to have oils in very limited amount. So the whole goal of this is to lessen the stress on my kidneys. So far, so good. I've been, this weekend and yesterday and today I was off of work, so I've been delving into the world of whole food, plant-based food to see how it fits in with Weight Watchers, and so far, so good. I'm still tracking in the app. I'm still counting points. I'm still looking at my calories because that's one thing that tends to be an issue with people who do adopt that lifestyle, is that they don't get enough calories. I'm making sure to do that. And I have a log that I fill out about how many servings of fruit and grains and, nuts and seeds and that type of thing that I'm filling out to make sure I'm getting enough of the required amounts. So I didn't like the diagnosis. I knew something was wrong just because the way my already overactive bladder became even more so. I was having edema in my legs and my feet, and just overall fatigue. And after speaking with my doctor, I knew that I had to do something drastic, and now that I couldn't wait. So that's where we are. For me, I'm looking at that 37.7 number as the number that changed everything for me. I knew that my kidneys were declining. And honestly, I hadn't really given it a whole lot of thought. I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm getting older. Maybe it's just, a fact of getting older, which part of it is. But seeing that I'm a stage and a half away from dialysis, that really hit. So I'm going to see what my, how things go. I'm going to stick with this as long as I can. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm going to do this forever and ever. But right now I'm taking the drastic steps. Losing 10% of my weight will greatly increase my chances of improving my GFR rate. So because some of the biggest culprits of this is hypertension, which I've had for a long time, and obesity, which I've been struggling with for years. So it's not the main thing, but the kidney function can also cause cardiac arrest. It can cause stroke. It can cause a whole lot of other diseases. So that's why I'm so concerned about this now. I wish I had been this concerned about it um, months ago. I wish I was this. Of course, well, I didn't have any indicators to make me concerned. So now my next blood test isn't scheduled until I go back to Ohio in October. So until then, October is really not that far away. But until then, I'm going to stick with the plant-based whole foods as much as I possibly can. So basically, what that means, I'm not eating any processed food at all. Anything that's processed tends to have salt and sugar in it, and that's the other thing. I have to drastically lower my sodium intake. Um, before, I think I told you this before I had the AFib event last Sunday. On last Saturday, I ate some foods that were really high in salt content, and it was fast food. So, fast food restaurants for me now are out. Prepackaged foods like pastas and things like that are out. So I can have stuff that's I'm going for mostly stuff that's very clean ingredients, so as unprocessed as possible. So I've been getting protein from the grains that I've been eating, also tofu. I've been eating more tofu and things like that. So, today I had over 40 grams of protein and I didn't eat a piece of meat at all. So, anyway, I'm staying on my meds. I'm not going off my meds, oh gosh, no. But, there are benefits to losing weight. As we all know, health benefits that, can lower your blood pressure. It could also, of course, now for me, it can help with this kidney disease that I have. Uh, Before they were just classifying it as low kidney function, and now it's on my report written as kidney disease. And I don't know, it took seeing that to shock me back into reality and saying, okay, you've got to get this under control and now, or I'm not going to see my grandkids grow up, and at my age, we only have so much time left anyway, but I want to be for here for as long as I possibly can, and I don't want to be in a dialysis chair. If you have to do dialysis, I'm sorry, you have to do what you have to do, but I don't want to do that. So I don't want to be tied to that chair. I don't have to want to do home dialysis or anything like that. First of all, I can't afford it. So um so this is where we're at. Some of the meals I had today were great, and yesterday I had a really, really breakfast. And the thing of it is, since I started this yesterday, I'm finding I'm not hungry. I had a yesterday for breakfast. I had some avocado toast, or did I have that today? I had avocado toast today. I made the toast out of tofu slices that I fried up in my nonstick pan so that they were crispy. I put some avocado on there, and I had some fruit with it. So I can have I can have mostly berries, but I can have watermelon. That's really good. Um, there's a whole list of foods that I can have. Bananas I can have very limited amounts just because of the high potassium content. Um, so I'm I guess I'm really relearning how to cook and fix food again. Yesterday, I fixed a cereal in the morning of steel cut oats with chia seeds and ground flax. And then I put some frozen fruit into it and cooked it all up, and it's super, super good, super filling. And I'm finding that I'm staying full longer. I can't think of one time where, since I started this, that I've been hungry enough to think that I have to eat something or I'm going to drop. Whereas, um, when as I was allowing myself to eat a standard American diet, uh, it's like I was hungry all the time. So, no processed sugars. I have to do low sodium, very low sodium. That's for my kidneys and my blood pressure. So, we're going to see how this goes. I'll keep you in the loop. So I guess I'm not totally Weight Watchers now, although I'm following this whole foods plant-based diet while in the confines of the Weight Watcher app. So today I had a total of 18 points. And like I said, I didn't have a piece of meat, so it's been mostly I've had all fruits and vegetables and grains today. So for lunch, I had a cup of brown rice that I put chickpeas and black beans on with some vegetables, and I mean it filled up my entire plate. A cup of brown rice is a lot of brown rice. And tonight I had a cabbage salad that cabbage was the base, and I just filled it up with vegetables. And like I said, for breakfast I had that avocado toast, which was really good. I have to also limit. I can have avocados, but I have to limit them because they're high in, I think, phosphorus. They're good for you, but anyway, and I have to limit oils, and the only oils I can use are olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, or avocado oil. So there, and nuts. I've been eating more nuts. So yesterday I went. All I had here was almonds. And yesterday I went and got some walnuts. And so for a snack tonight, I had a slice of apple or I had an apple that I sliced up, and I had a serving of walnuts, and then I just sprinkled cinnamon over it all, and that was my evening snack. So it was pretty good. Now I know this is all new to me, and I'm hoping I don't get tired of it or weary of it. Um, as long as I'm seeing the scale move in the right direction, I'm good. I'm hoping for that forward progress. Uh, so that's where we are. Water is the other thing too. Um, I have to drink enough water, but not too much water. So, because too much water can overtax my kidneys. Anyway, that's where we are. So, just wanted to give you these updates, and maybe if I get the time midweek, I'll put up another video to let you know how I'm doing. If not, then I'll just be back here next Saturday when I do my weigh-in video. So I have a long week ahead of me because I'm working. I'm working on Friday. I don't normally work on Fridays, but I'm covering a shift on Friday, uh, and that'll help kind of make up time that I lost. This past week when I was in the hospital and had to lay back for a couple days. So anyway, like I said, that's where we are. If you have ever followed whole food plant based, I'd appreciate you letting me know in the comments below. Let me know how it went, what you did, what worked and what didn't work. Uh, yeah, just let me know. So, okay, I'm gonna go now, and you guys have a great night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.